He was like, he compared Jesus on a cross to a stripper on a pole.
Not quite.
The only stripper I'm in love with is Jesus.
So Tim Ross was recently on The Breakfast Club, and he clarified what he meant by Jesus was the only stripper that he would love, a viral moment that he had. And I love how bold he was. Let's check this out.
But I do have a question, right? So I was, it's funny, I was getting a haircut last night, and I was talking to my barber, and I was like, yeah, Tim Ross will be joining. He was like, oh, I love Tim Ross. He started talking about the basement and your podcast. He was like, he had one viral moment, though. But he was like, I don't think people understood and heard the full thing. And I was like, well, what was the viral moment? He was like, he compared Jesus on a cross to a stripper on a pole.
Not quite.
And he was like,
Lord have mercy.
that's what he told me. He was, but he was like, but people didn't hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
At the end, they will get it, but I don't think people got it. So you got to ask them to clarify that. So
Yeah, for sure. So
You said Jesus was a stripper?
yeah, I said the only stripper that I love is Jesus. Like that's the only stripper that I love.
Okay, explain.
So Jesus came out of heaven to put on humanity. He took off glory to put on divinity.
So again, theologically correct right here, stripped off glory.
Then he was stripped butt naked and died on a tree.
And this is the way that Romans would crucify people. So also true.
So that's why I said the only stripper that I love is Jesus.
It was just really the way he said it, I think.
So people did take it out of context, and it was a viral moment. The people in the room understood it. There was a lot of people that felt like it was inappropriate or tasteless. That's their opinion. I know the people I was talking to. I know that anytime people are doing this in a church service, I think they know the context of stripper and what I meant when I made the statement. So yeah,
I guess what I would say, did Jesus strip or was he stripped?
he stripped and was stripped.
Okay.
Because he took off glory. He stripped himself of that. Like everything that made him God and divine, he took that off so that he could live and dwell among us. He's fully God and fully man, but he took off that glory side of him so that he could relate to us.
So I don't disagree with what he's saying here. It's just the way he says things, right, that makes people like, ooh. And then you get this viral, people clipping it and just putting that moment. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, whoa, what is he saying? How dare he compare Jesus to a stripper, right? When in reality, he's describing what theologians, and if you study theology, is kenosis, the idea that Jesus came in the human form from God, the God man, right? Fully God, fully human, stripped himself of glory, right? And came down. And then he was stripped by Romans because that was the way that they crucified people. They would strip them naked, flog them, put them on public display, humiliate them, nail them to a cross. So he was essentially stripped twice. And this is what he was really so bold in saying to Charlemagne and DJ Envy when they asked the question to clarify what he meant by Jesus was the only stripper that he would love. So theology, we get it from Philippians 2:7 and on. And it says, instead, he emptied himself by assuming the form of a servant, but taking on the likeness of humanity. And when he had come as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even to death on the cross, that he was willing to come and die for us. For this reason, God highly exalted him and gave him the name that is above every name, right? Above every name, so that at the name of Jesus, every knee would bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, right? And every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Again, this is where he got this whole idea to call Jesus a stripper, or to say he was the only stripper that he would ever love. It became a viral moment, but he does clarify it on The Breakfast Club, and he was really bold doing it, and I appreciate that. I'm curious to see or to hear read your thoughts below. I'll see you on the next one.